Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. 9 NBA games here on Monday. Going to be getting into that with you. Apologies for taking off Friday, Saturday. I see y'all asking for those NBA videos, and I appreciate it. Got to take some time for the 5-month-old daughter and the wife as well. So that's what's going on Fridays and Saturdays for the most part. Going to get back into NBAs starting tonight on Sundays and moving forward. But let's go ahead and get into all the matchup data, everything I've got for these games. There's 4 teams on a back-to-back, so you want to stay weary of that. But if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's get right into it. I wanted to address the record stuff. Haven't been bringing it up early in the season. There's a couple things going on. I'm swamped. So by the time I get to this video, I'm not always going to be ready with the updated stuff in terms of win losses, units won loss. Like right now, there's still games going on as I got ready to record here. So I'll just show you the bets that I made. I know that Miles Turner was 1 for 2 on our bets here. Noah Clowney came out, was 1 for 7 in that blowout to the Knicks. So it's just like when I bet on him is when he decides he can't make a shot. The volume's still going to be there for Noah Clowney. So we're going to keep coming back to him pretty consistently because he's one of the few guys on Brooklyn that you can rely on to play at least close to, if not 30 minutes consistently. Jalen Suggs got over this in the second quarter. The RA here for him on the rebounds and assists. Thank you, Jalen. He keeps playing like 20, 22 minutes, but he keeps flying over all of his RA and even PRA props at this point too. Going to consider adding the points for Jalen, but I keep going to the rebounds and assists specifically because I don't know if he's going to continue to shoot like 75% from the field where he's been going crazy. But John Morant, this was a nice hit on the under of the 33.5 PRA, minus 114. We hit that comfortably, actually. I think he ended with like 22, 23 on the PRA there. Hasn't hit this against Oklahoma City in like 3 years or something, 4 years in terms of over 33.5 PRA. So this is a crazy high number against probably the best defense in the league. Looked like Memphis was going to have that one for a while too. And then OKC came back, won by double digits, ended up, sort of pounding them in the second half there. But Trendon Watford, I really thought that his usage was going to continue. I thought in the starting lineup, this means it's his role now. He's not going to lose minutes to Walker and guys like Edwards, and he did. He ended up losing a lot of minutes to them and probably should have ended up going with Drummond in that game for the 76ers versus Detroit, mostly just because that was the guy that was going up against his old team. Thought Nick Nurse might head him. But either way, we are down now probably after today, like we were about minus a half a unit off today. So that was obviously not great. But then overall in the season now, I believe we're down 3.5 units. So need to come back. We've had some good looks, but the problem is a couple hooks, mostly, to be honest with you. It's just been me overthinking things, going back to a few different changes that I've made. So hopefully we'll see the results sort of follow along with that, plus some positive regression. But let's get into this. This is going to be Props Madness. As you guys know, going to be using this as we start off with this Lakers and Hornets game. This is going to have the best matchup data, everything that you need as you're sort of perusing your NBA player props, shot zones, recent closing lines for guys, everything that you need with and without certain players. Like, it's a one-stop shop. So if you do want to use Props Madness, sign up using code LYB. That gets you 25% off on your first month as you're getting into this platform here. But the key for this one to start is going to be that Miles Bridges is going to be questionable. So we need to know what's going to happen with him. But I have some numbers for you guys that indicate who's going to sort of step up if Miles Bridges is out, and already knowing that LaMelo is out, who do we like, right? So what I've got here is without LaMelo, right? If Bridges is out, we got LaMelo out, Bridges, and Brandon Miller. And if that's the case, obviously we got to look at Sexton. He's going to be at 29, 6, and 10. So 29 points, 6 boards, and 10 assists per 36 minutes when he's playing without Miles Bridges and LaMelo and Brandon Miller, right? And you can see, I don't think Miles Bridges has missed a game this season, right? No one's played without him yet. So you have to go into the on-off court numbers. You can't just do the games that he has or has not played. The other guys that you want to look at, Con Knippel, 16.5 might not be high enough. The only thing I might be a little bit weary of is the boards in this matchup, mostly because Colin Sexton comes in, might take some boards from him. But even with Colin Sexton out there, Con Knippel, 26 points, 11 boards, 5 dimes, 36 minutes when on the court with LaMelo, without Bridges. We know now. Love him. Probably going to like Sexton, mostly on the dimes for Sexton, because I love Con on the points, and I don't really want to have to over sort of indulge with all these Hornets players. And then Trey Mann, if we see his stuff as well, he's not even going to get props until we know about Bridges, but he's at 12 points and 8 dimes per 36 without him. So Sexton points, assists, Knippel points. You're not going to be able to stop me from betting on Knippel points. That's for damn sure. And then I do think we'll get some Trey Mann stuff. If he's too high though, Trey Mann at like 15.5 points, that'll probably be a stay away for me. Something to keep in mind for Mann in this one. And then I don't know what to do with the Lakers, man. And Reeves is questionable, so that's going to be a stay away from me. I don't think I'm going to have much for you on this Wizards-Pistons games. The Pistons just ended, so they're on a back-to-back. Same for the Magic. We're not going to get any lines for a while because they're on the back-to-back. Plus, the Magic now, if you look at their schedule, they've played since November 4th. This is going to be their fourth game in basically 6 nights, right? Or third game in 4 nights. They've been busy. They played a lot of games. They had 2 hard ones against the Celtics, winning by 13, losing by 4 in this game on Sunday. So I'd be careful with Magic stuff there. Not even sure who's going to play. Confident Suggs is going to be out. And if Suggs is out, that does mean we like Anthony Black stuff. If you look at Anthony Black without Suggs, I guess I said I don't know, but I do know that I like Anthony Black without Suggs. There's 2 games he's played without Suggs. The key is not just the points, it's the 30 minutes and the 31 minutes for Anthony Black. He comes in and takes those Suggs minutes. He's going to be the guy that they rely upon. That's going to pick up some of the usage, going to do the hustle stuff, right? The boards, not as good in this matchup, but I'm still down to take PRA. I mean, honestly, the points are the thing that stand out to you the most, but that's been some easy games. I think against the Blazers, probably want to add the rebounds in there and assists for him because I think he'll, like I said, take over some of that Suggs hustle play stuff. Cavs, Heat, we can talk about. There's no real questionable tags here. We've got guys in for the most part. Bam and Hero still out for Miami. For Cleveland, I believe they're good to go. Yeah, just Strus out and Nance is questionable, but the key guys are in. Going right to Jaime. I love Jaime in this situation. I think PRA is going to be the play for him. Still don't have that number yet. It closed at 26.5 in this last one against the Blazers, and that's a good defensive team for sure. Still had 16 rebound chances, 12 boards, 14 points, 10 potential assists, and 7 really good usage all over the place. And his PRA is really impressive for Jaime. Without Bam on court, Jaime is at 20 points, 8 boards, 6 dimes per 36. The assists are crazy, man. When you look at them without Bam here in just the last couple games, especially these assists at 7, 10 potentials, 9, 14 potentials. One was the Hornets, but the Blazers are good defense. So that's an impressive thing. They all play fast, but the key is playing in transition. Jaime Jaquez, since the beginning of the season, we've known is someone they want to score and to be out there because of the fact that they want to play in transition. He is scoring the bulk of his points off of transition. This is a good transition defense, but I like the PRA as a whole, not just going just for the points for Jaime like we did against the Hornets. Going to put it all together because, like I said, he's averaging 34 per 36 minutes, and I think we should continue to bank on him playing 30 minutes per game. He's in the closing lineups. He's not starting, but he's going to be continuing to get that 30 minutes regardless. Jovic, if I bet on Jovic, great. But if you have been in these videos before, you know that I do not bet on Nikola Jovic. Hashtag no Jovic, because I just don't trust him. But it does seem that right now Jovic is the guy who's sort of the backup center for this team at this point behind Kel'el Ware, and Kel'el Ware is not going to finish games. So last game for Jovic, he played 31 minutes coming off the bench because they're not going to let Kel'el Ware finish games. So the reason I don't bet on Jovic is because he never finishes games. So he's never going to get to 30 minutes when Bam is available. Bam's not available. So that's why the backup center is coming in, playing the end of the game, because Spo does not trust our boy Kel'el Ware. I guess he trusts Jovic more. I don't, but he trusts Jovic more. So he's the guy getting the minutes at the end. He would be the guy if he gets another, look, he had 9.5 points as his prop last game against the Blazers. He went for 29 because he played 31 minutes because he got the closing minutes. Whatever. Hashtag no Jovic. We're going with Jaime Jaquez on the PRA. That's my favorite bet for the Heat. And if you go to the other side, the only thing I would consider here, I think we're going to get our boy Darius at full minutes. So he's opened at 17.5. This wasn't available when I was doing my research earlier in terms of the lines, yet they were not out. So Darius at 17.5, man. What are the assists? 5.5. So this is probably gonna be 6.5 by the time most of y'all are watching this, because this will get bet up to 6.5 for decent odds. I might be good with it. I might be good on the points and assists for him. He played 28 minutes in this last game, despite the fact that they blew the doors off of the Wizards by 33, right? So that tells me that they wanted him to get back into into shape and get his stamina back up into NBA game shape, right? Because why else would you have a guy who just came off a legit injury play against one of the worst teams in the league when you're winning by 30 plus? Well, because you want him out there to get the like we said, build that stamina up so that he can be ready for the fastest team in the league in the Heat, who are playing at that fast pace. So I think he's going to be pretty good. Probably Donnie Mitchell as well, even at 25.5, just screams another big Mitchell game with this team for the Heat. You can see here they're playing at the number 1 pace in the league. That's on purpose, and they're going to keep doing that for the majority of the season, I would imagine. Quick reminder, Novig is the sportsbook exchange of the month here on landerbets.com. It is, like I said, an exchange, not a traditional book, so you can bet against peers, not against the sportsbook. Set your own lines, put the bets out there, see if anybody wants them. You can also look through the peer bets that are available, so you can bet against other people, not the sports books. And it's available in all those key states like Texas and California as well. Sign up for that using code LYB, get a whole bunch of good bonus bets and everything. And then I'll get you a free month on lyb.com, so you can check out all these projections as well as the bets that I'm putting down. Support at landyourbets.com. That's the email. Just hit us up and say, hey, signed up for Novig, used your code. Would love to test everything out for that free month. Let's get into this Bulls and Spurs game. Quick reminder for those NFL fans, the Monday Night Football video is up with a number of props in there for you guys as well, and all the data and stats that you need for football heads over there. But do want to get into this Spurs and Bulls game because I love being able to take players overs versus the Bulls. They're still just a horrible defense. Like, don't let the fact that the 3-point attempts that they're doing really well, limiting stuff above the break, right? You can see here they are 13th, limiting threes above the break, pretty good in the corner. They're terrible right down here, 30th, dead last at the rim. So anybody who's attacking the rim, anybody who goes quick and plays in transition, like, say, De'Aaron Fox, like, say, Stephon Castle, who love to just get downhill and go, transition, free throws, pick and roll ball handler. That's what Stephon Castle wants to do as well. So love those dudes in this matchup, right? We have no Dylan Harper. These are the two guys who are going to really take over ball handling duties. And Stephon Castle, we got to start with him and just talk about the assists, because the Bulls, we know that since last season, they've been terrible limiting assists. They are still that. They're 15th, but you can get a ton of them against them. The assist rate for the opponent against the Bulls is really high. And if you look at Castle, dude, this is insane. This is not his points. These are his dimes. 14 against the Pelicans. This is insane. 13 against the Rockets, who are like the best assist defense in the league, or at least they were before he put 13 dimes on them. And that was before Fox came back, right? The crazy thing is 14 on 18 potentials with Fox. And that tells me it's these two, right? These two guys have the ball in their hands. They're leading the team in touches. Wemby's up there in the front court touches. He's never taking the ball up, but Castle and Fox are. It's their world to do what they want at the same time when they're on the court, and often when they're one is on the bench and one's on the court. Fox came off the bench at the beginning of the second quarter. He went out for a bit after the first, came back in the second, and did work without Castle on the floor. So both of them I still love in a game against a Bulls team that's going to play high pace, not going to play good defense, as we know, and gives up a good amount of assists and everything at the rim. So assists for Castle, they're still only at 6.5. I say only because he's gone stupid high over that. I mean, the potentials are crazy, man. Since the Suns game, rather, even the Heat game, 16 potentials, 15, 16, 21, 18. I don't have any reason to tell you that's going to change because there's nobody coming in to take these touches from him. It's him and it's De'Aaron Fox. I love Fox on the point still. He played 31 minutes versus the Pellies. I see him getting another 30 because similar to what you were saying about Garland, you want to get Fox's stamina back up, get him into NBA shape. So it doesn't matter that you're going to blow out teams like the Pelicans. They only won by 7, but probably going to have a good game with the Bulls, going to need him out there anyway, assuming Giddey plays. I believe Giddey's still looking to play here. He is questionable. So if Giddey doesn't play, it might not be that close. I don't think that matters for Fox. I think he's blowout proof in the sense that they want him playing 30 minutes so he can get back into game shape. I like him on the points. Probably going to get some value on the assists because I love taking guard assists against the Pellies. But my theory here with Fox is that he wants to score because he's a little bit insecure. Right? Honestly, like he saw Dylan Harper come out and look awesome, look like a younger version of De'Aaron Fox. And then he sees guys like Castle in the future with Wemby. Like he's got to sort of assert himself as someone who's in this offense, and he's 1B to Wemby's 1A. I think he's going to do that in this game against the Bulls team. That's going to keep things high in pace. He's going to get a lot of points. So I like him, and I like Castle on the assists. Love Fox on points and assists. Just love all the overs for them playing a team like this Bulls squad. And on the other side, we need to see if Giddey is available. If he is not, Ayo Dosunmu does not have props yet for a reason, right? Ayo is going to be pretty tied to Giddey in terms of impacting each other's usage and touches. If Giddey is out, let's see what Ayo opened with last time, because he had a 24-minute limit last game. That was clear. He played 23 minutes. They said before the game, Billy Donovan was like, Ayo's not playing more than 24 against the Cavs. True to his word, he played 23, but took 11 shots in 23 minutes. If Giddey's not out there, then he's going to be taking a ton of shots, right? If you look at last season without Josh Giddey, take him out, all the games that Ayo played, not great on the points, 14 points though, 14 attempts rather in this game. 7 in this one. They lost by 25. Yeah, so that was a weird one. And then they lost by 21 to Milwaukee. Another weird one. Still took 9 shots in these tough matchups. And there was, in those games, there was Kobe White. No Kobe White. And that's even more key than Giddey, right? If we look at Ayo last season without Kobe White, that's going to look a lot better. And that's why if he's out there, even if he's at 24-minute limit, and he's at like 11, 12 and a half points tomorrow. Still love that. But look at these numbers last year with Kobe out, right? We've talked about this consistently with Io. Love that he came back in this last game against the Cavs right here, did really well. Shot 45%. This is going to continue to do that. It's not like he went crazy and just made a whole bunch of shots. He just takes a good amount of shots. He's always going to be taking 11 in those 20, 25 minutes. So going to be looking at him. If Giddey's out, it's like 15 plus for Io, no question. Milwaukee and Dallas here in Dallas, and we've got AD questionable. Who else we got questionable? Gafford questionable, and then Lively's not going to be playing. Probably doubtful in this one. We know we got the Bucks on the back-to-back. Tough loss for them here on Sunday. They were winning in that game against the Rockets. Yeah, tough game at home against the Rockets. They were winning for most of that game, ended up losing by 7 at the end there. We got one bet, like I said, with Miles Turner, right? But more importantly, I'm looking at the Mavs for a minute, and I think we got to at least talk about how there's some point guards that are going to have some high usage. Everyone's talking about potentially Jaden Hardy. At least that's what's been coming out of the camp in Dallas. J Kidd specifically said he liked Jaden Hardy as someone to step up and do well for them and get some usage. But I think Brandon Williams is going to be the guy now moving forward. I really was just I don't know why I chickened out on his assist last game against a terrible Wizards team. The potentials were low, but his assist line, you can see right here on PropsMadness, was 2.5 is where his assist line closed last game. The Bucks, middle of the pack defense versus assists. But I think Brandon Williams is the dude that you want to, that Kidd specifically wants to come out and keep getting usage and minutes. And he is their best ball handler after a guy like D'Angelo Russell, who Kidd does not want to play. Like, it's so obvious, right? 21 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes. If you don't think D'Angelo Russell can contribute to this team where it's at, where it's getting slapped around by like the Wizards and the Pelicans and like not beating anybody, then that means you don't want D'Angelo Russell, right? Because he obviously, Kidd does not think that he contributes to this team because he doesn't play defense. Go figure. That Kidd would not want a point guard who doesn't play defense. That's kind of what he's about. So I don't like D'Angelo Russell. Hate it. Do like Brandon Williams in this game for his dimes. And other than that, really don't like much in this Bucks game right now with Dallas. Don't really like taking Dallas games. So we go down to the Wolves and the Jazz, who are going to play another game against each other. Look at our boy, man. Missed you, Isaiah Collier. Looking at the dimes here, 3, but he had 11 potentials in 20. This is what he does. 26 minutes, first game back. Team gets just slapped around by 40 to the Timberwolves in a cup game. The Timberwolves just wanted to wax them, and they did. And he still had 11 potential assists and 3 dimes because the Jazz are bad. They're not going to hit that many shots. It's going to be a lot of 30, 45% of his potential assists turning into regular assists because his team sucks. So they're not going to make shots. And I get that. But if we get 4.5 assists for Isaiah Collier as a line, I'm going to hit it. I'm probably going to hit this until it hits like 6.5 for this dude. The potential assists go crazy. We know that last season he averaged 13.8 potential assists per game. And that was in 30 minutes per game. So almost a potential assist every other minute. Love that continuing for him moving forward. Going to take him on some assists if we get that at 4.5 once again. And then speaking of assists, this is going to sound weird, but I'm going to go to one more here for the Pellies and the Suns. Probably going to be some offense in this game. I do think one guy to look at for the Suns, he doesn't have lines yet. I think Colin Gillespie is going to get some minutes because Jalen Green is out in this game. Dylan Brooks is back, but I think points and assists are still okay for our boy here, Colin Gillespie. He was 11.5 last game, and then Jalen Green left last game against it was last game against the Clips, right? And we saw Gillespie get a little bit of a bump in minutes because Jalen Green went down, right? And then this was a game that Dylan Brooks came back. So now that Brooks is back and Green is back out, Gillespie comes in as that sort of third guard once again. I think we'll get some beatable numbers for Gillespie. And on the other side, I think we're going to get some beatable numbers. We got to see if Yves Missy plays. He's questionable. But if Yves Missy does not play, look at our boy Derek Queen. The points are nice. He played 3 games now without missing in a row and almost 18, then 25 and 26 minutes, right? The shots are nice. 14 shots in 25 minutes, 8 shots, 7 shots. But look at the dimes. What? 7 and 8 dimes in 2 of his last 3 because he got minutes, and the potentials aren't exactly high, but he's actually not a bad playmaker and ball handler for someone that size, right? We see him playing a lot at the top of the key, and he's getting a lot of the dribble handoffs. That's the key, is the dribble handoff is a really nice, easy way to just give it to someone, have them going full head to the basket, and now they've got a clear lane for a layup. That's going to be a pretty easy assist, right? Which is why he had 9 potentials, but 8 assists, 9 potentials, but 7 assists. Either way, the line was 1.5. If we keep getting 1.5, then I'll alt this thing to like 3 or 4 every game for him right now. If we can rely on 25 minutes, again, need to see if Yves Missy is going to be available. If he is, don't know how much we can rely on Derek Queen playing 25 minutes. But if we get news that maybe, Willie Green is like, look, I don't care that we've got Yves Missy back. Derek Queen needs to be out there more consistently. And we might start seeing the dude who they took in the first round last year or this year, whatever. All right, y'all, appreciate the time as always. Make sure you do check out that Monday Night Football video for those of y'all interested in betting on the NFL. And I'll be back here on Tuesday per usual with the NBA. And until I see y'all next, happy betting.